I'm going to check my sound quality on my phone to see if I can hear myself. Because last time I was on here talking, and y'all couldn't even hear me. Oh my goodness. But how y'all doing? Welcome back to the Lee Williams Show. I am Lee Williams, your host. And I was saying a whole lot of stuff. I was giving y'all some good tea too, honey. But I'm trying to make sure y'all can hear me. Oh yeah, okay, I can hear myself. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, boy. Okay. Okay, so I'm not even gonna go back through what I was talking about because really it doesn't. I mean, it was some good tea, but we're not gonna go over all of it. I'm just gonna go straight to the topics. Now, I am someone that I am a news reporter. Okay, I'm not working as a news reporter now, but I have worked as a news journalist for 10 years. I have a first place journalism award from the Georgia Press Association, second place award from the Associated Press in Atlanta, Georgia, and I have a third place award from Atlanta, Associated Press, Atlanta, Georgia, and I also have a second place journalism award from the North Carolina Press Association. So when I say that I'm a seasoned and award-winning journalist, that is just not a buzzword. That is the real deal. And I will say that you can be a journalist, but you don't necessarily have an award. I have many. I think I have about six that six. One from, well, one of them, well, two of the awards I got for the same story. I did a investigation on a housing authority and took down a lot of people, got a lot of people exposed, got a lot of people fired, a lot of people got people prosecuted, and then the other one was for a plane crash. We had a plane crash that crashed into a building. And I was Johnny on the spot for that. And then we had and then my second place award from North Carolina Press Association, that was for covering this poor guy. He spent like 20 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. So, when I say I'm a seasoned journalist, that's what I mean. Okay. It's not a buzzword, but I want to thank everybody, for hanging in with me. Thank you so much for your support. And we're just going to jump right in. While I've been missing action because I do suffer with anxiety and depression that's triggered by specific events, meaning certain events can trigger me and trigger me to the point. Okay. And I've been getting triggered every which way but loose. I'm still the bubbly, vivacious person, but I had my light dimmed a little bit. 2020 was a nightmare for me. I lost my part-time employment, that I really, really loved. And, the pandemic just kind of took a lot of things out. But at the same time, I'm hoping for more opportunities in the future. If you need someone to help you with your social media, manage your social media, help you with marketing, promos, and that kind of thing, let me know. I do small events for up to, I'm going to say about 300-400 people. I manage web pages, Facebook, Instagram, and I do promos as well, business spotlights and things of that sort. Um, on a part-time basis, contractual basis. So if you need somebody, let me know. Okay. So thank y'all for coming back. I know, look, I told y'all I'm going to stop apologizing because I know I've been gone, but I do come back, but I really need your support with this channel. My channel is just dying, okay? And I don't believe it's only because no one's watching. I feel like someone not someone. YouTube is taking my viewership away. Okay, so I need can, kind of feel motivated, you know. But even so, I'm still gonna be and thank y'all for my new subscribers, for my old subscribers, thanks for people for just watching, okay? I really, really value you. So I'm talking about Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams show, the Wendy Williams biopic. Movie comes out tomorrow at 8 p.m. Well, not tomorrow, today, because it debuts January 30th at 8 p.m. on Lifetime. And then it'll be a 2-hour movie, and then her documentary comes on after that. So everybody's gonna be posted up, honey. I got my alarm set for we ready to roll. We're ready to roll. We got because this cheap webcam. It is just special. But anyway, but yeah, so let me kind of move up a little bit so y'all can see me a little more. No, my eyes aren't closed. They look closed, but they're not closed. So Wendy Williams has definitely been making her rounds, honey. She is stirring the pot. She's even threatening to take out her own brother, honey. She said nobody is off limits. There are no sacred cows. Like in the journalism business, we say sacred cows are like somebody you cannot do a story on. Okay, for example, um, a sacred cow would be, in the news business. I'm trying to think. Okay, we don't cover. Do y'all remember Don Cornelius, right? And you remember how he died, right? So we would cover Don Cornelius passing, but we wouldn't say that how he died. Okay, in that case, because it was kind of something that we didn't talk. It was like, say, a sacred cow is normally a person that you don't bring up. So like maybe we have a sacred cow like a police chief or the mayor, we would consider that like a sacred cow. But in the real world, in the journalism business, there are no sacred cows, honey. If you doing the wrong thing, honey, baby, you would be on the front page of my newspaper that I work for, and I would be the one to write about you. So I don't, when you are in this news business, she's in the gossip business. You just cannot you just have to tell it like it is, And I know Wendy Williams gets a lot of slack. I know I personally was late to the Wendy Williams show. I was very, very hot and cold towards Wendy Williams early on. I think I even have a video talking about things I don't like and things I hate. And I think well, no, I know Wendy Williams. I mentioned her that she was somebody that I love to hate, because I felt like she was so mean spirited. But a friend of mine, a real good girlfriend, good Judy, she is a big Wendy Williams fan. And, we used to be talking about Wendy Williams, and she was like, hold up, don't talk about Wendy Williams. And she kind of convinced me a little more, that Wendy was misunderstood and people just didn't get her. They didn't understand her. So I started to give her a little more chance based on my friend, and I've opened up my heart to Wendy. And it was funny because around the time I started opening up my heart to Wendy, she was passing out. Her arm was broke, and she'd been in rehab. She kept taking all these hiatuses. It was a mess. So season 11. Okay, now this is season 12, and kind of got off to a rocky start, unfortunately, because her mom passed late last year. I want to definitely offer my condolences to the lovely Miss Shirley Williams. I'm no relation to Wendy Williams or any of the Wendy Williams family that I know of, but hey, If y'all want to claim me, that's fine, But no, I can't imagine. Well, I can imagine because I lost my own mother. I talked about it in my last video, what she must be going through, and I was very happy to hear that she's getting therapy because I'm getting therapy. I've been going to a therapist for 6 months, and it took me a long time to get to the therapist. My first therapist I didn't like. I thought they were all the same, but I ended up finding a therapist that I really liked, and I'm just so happy. So Wendy Williams was on air arguing with her brother because her brother is like, okay, some people call him a clout chaser. Some people call him a low key clout chaser. I'm just gonna say he's a clout chaser. Okay. Now I know he doesn't. I just don't know if it's all intentional, but he seems like a very well educated person, and I just don't. I think he knows what he's doing. He's very smart. Even though he's green, meaning that he acts like he's not of this world and he's not familiar with the world and all this, but he has a marketing background. He knows about clicks and views. He knows about analytics. Honey, baby, you are a cloud chaser. But okay. And I want to be clear that I'm not against Tommy. I just unfortunately I've been watching him, and it is looking like, because he literally had a whole video about Wendy Williams and her husband and how he's blowing up because he got this whole business and everything. And come to find out, he didn't even talk about video. And people would bring up like, well, this is clickbait. And he would be like, oh, well, yeah, it is clickbait. He said, I noticed y'all stopped watching when I stopped talking about when I stopped, because he had coronavirus, right? The brother had coronavirus. That's kind of how he started his YouTube channel, allegedly, I guess. And, he started, kind of coming to the social media to kind of talk about what he was going through, especially with the whole coronavirus pandemic that we're in currently. It's been going on since March, probably since January, but we'll just say March when we got the brunt of everything. And he was using social media as an outlet. Okay, of course, his mother died, it became controversial because he was saying his mother died Sunday, and Wendy Williams got on the air saying her mother died many, 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 many months ago. Okay, so that was a big breach. And then one YouTuber actually interviewed him. Her name is Chronicle Speaks. Shout out to Chronicle Speaks. And he was like, well, maybe she got confused, or maybe she didn't know. But they did. He did say they talked to her about it. Maybe she was speaking, I don't know, in riddles. Maybe she was thinking, maybe she got confused on the time, or maybe she was just saying the mother that she knew was gone a long time ago, and maybe they were just holding on to her, trying different things, trying different remedies. All I know is it just looked like Wendy was a liar. Okay, and I'm gonna be real. Okay, so there are, in my opinion, there's some integrity issues with Wendy Williams. Okay, so but know okay, the integrity issues were, remember when she went out in season 11 and she was like, she's at a halfway house. It just seemed, I mean, and then come to find out, Calvin got a whole baby. It was just a mess. She never really fessed up to the baby thing for a long time. She made a lot of excuses, and then all of a sudden she said, oh, by the way, we're getting, we're getting a divorce, and all of a sudden he cheated, and then all of a sudden we start hearing about this baby, confirmed by her. Now, obviously, we heard it from Daily Mail, but Daily Mail, unfortunately, yeah, they can get a story right here and there. They say even a blind squirrel, even a blind squirrel can get an acorn here and there. But unfortunately, Daily Mail has a reputation. Now, I don't know how far ago this was, but they were accused of basically telling tales. Okay, so it's not considered the most credible source. It is considered like a gossip column type deal, but I think they do their research. But that if you look up the history of Daily Mail, people do not consider it a credible source. Okay, um although they had all Wendy's tea. So it looks like after they came out with their stories, then Wendy was forced to kind of come out with her story. So anyway, her and Tommy, they've been going back and forth because Tommy went on air crying, honey, saying, "Ma, I can't believe you didn't go to my mother's funeral. You are the most you're heartless. Like, how can you do it?" Wendy Williams clapped back immediately, honey. Immediately. She was like, um First of all, don't make me read you, Tommy Williams. I know your whole tea. I will pull your whole card. Then she like, "You like my dress?" She was like, "Tommy would like my dress." Basically, okay, in so many words, insinuating allegedly that he had some tea. Okay, he had some secrets that he needed to come forward with, or some truths that he needed to be telling other than Wendy's truth. Okay, now Wendy got on live. She was crying. She was fumbling around. Honestly, she didn't seem honest. She didn't seem like she was telling the truth at this point. But she came up with this whole ruse that Tommy Williams got into a fight with her nephew. The casket almost fell. The casket shifted. His mom, her mom, almost fell out of the casket. They had to kind of like guard the casket so it didn't tip over. Tommy Williams got into a fight using all kind of slurs and curse words at the viewing. And so allegedly Kelvin had to step in, her ex-husband, to kind of bring order there because it was before everybody, the visitors came in. It was just family there. And, she was worried about her son and the impact the grandmother's death was having on her son. He was studying for finals and she was very distracted. And all she knew is she wanted to keep things normal for her son. So she gathered up her things and they just left. And I guess somehow Tommy thought she was going back home to New York. She told everybody she had to leave right after the viewing, but come to find out she was having lunch with Kelvin somewhere else. Okay. And I remember Tommy was saying that he asked, Tommy said, Kelvin asked him, "So what's up with this YouTube channel you got going on?" Now, to me, that was a veiled threat, honey. That was like, baby, you better get you, baby, you better get your life, honey. so, um, so where I say that I see myself in Tommy. Well, I'm I'm kind of going through a thing with my family, okay? So, we're not all kumbaya at the moment, okay? So, now I love my family to death, but we have some communication issues. We don't see eye to eye on some very important topics, and we were estranged for 8 years. I didn't speak to any of my family. And my nephew died. He was murdered. God rest his soul, Kyan Anthony Brewster Jr. He was murdered. And I wanted to be there for my sister because at the end of the day, family is everything. And I wanted to be there for my sister during her bereavement. Um, you know, we hadn't spoke since my mother passed away, and we got into a spat in 2008 and 2008, 2009. So, well, we got in, but my mother died in 2008, and we kind of fell out during that time. But even before that, we were never really close. Okay, never during my whole life. Okay, but I love my family. I care about them. It's just that I don't feel they feel the same towards me. So, like Tommy didn't realize his sister wasn't feeling him because Wendy basically called him, said, he had some feminine ways. Okay. So, allegedly, right? So, and Wendy was like, you better get your life before I get it for you, you and your wife. Y'all need to stay over there. You need to concentrate on what you talking about. And I've had to kind of draw a hard line with my family, kind of like Tommy had to draw a hard line with his family because he was like, at the end of the day, I'm gonna ride for dad, honey. You go, you gonna see the worst of me, honey. You start impacting my father, and you're not honoring my mother. Like, you're gonna see the worst side of me. Um, and he admitted that he could be a little abrasive. So can I. I'm one of those people. I love everybody. Like, I don't care what color they are, religion, race, or whatever. I don't make trouble. I believe people make trouble with me, right? So, I'll pretend for a long time. Maybe I misunderstood. I'll try to deny. I'll try to avoid, and I'll be forced into, responding. And because I don't like to, I just don't like drama. In my life, I just don't like drama. I just don't like bad energy. I don't like bad vibes. Look, I'm a happy-go-lucky person. I love everybody. I will give a stranger my last dime. I have a big heart for others. I go out of my way for other people. Um, it doesn't matter whether it doesn't really matter that we may or may not have a close relationship for you. I mean, with each other. If I see somebody in need and I can help, I'm gonna help. So I feel like Tommy has that big brother, know, coming to people's aid, whether it's his mother, whether it's whoever it is, he's gonna be the one that got something to say. Okay, want to pop off, and I'm gonna say that I would be the one to pop off. Okay, because I've always been outspoken. Like, my throat chakra is in good use. Okay, I've always been outspoken, and that's probably why I was a journalist for so many years, for 10 years. I fought for the underdog. I rooted for the underdog. I mean, I helped raise like $10,000 for a cerebral palsy patient. I, would try to highlight, not just when police officers, law enforcement officials, um, do bad things. I would also try to highlight the good things. Hey, they're retiring, the mark they made on the community, the impact, the special events that they would do to kind of do community outreach. I would try to be balanced with everything. Obviously, everybody's looking for the man that bit the dog scenario instead of the dog that bit the man. But I would try to make sure I was balanced. I didn't want to just show up every time something was bad. I wanted to be there and, you know, get the good stories as well. Hey, somebody got a medal. I want to do a story. Somebody. So that's the kind of news reporter I was. And some people might call those stories fluff, but I believe it's important. I believe it's important. If you want to be a balanced reporter, you can't always run when there's a 5 alarm fire, because when you really need that person, they're not going to answer the phone because they're like, oh, You only come around when you want stuff from us, you know. But we were trying to tell you about my book club that I started, and you ain't had nothing to say about that, you know. So yeah, so that's kind of part of working for a community newspaper. Okay, so it's called, you know, building bridges and you know, forging relationships. You know, and you get better respect and you get better stories that way because that's probably why I got all those awards. One day I'm gonna show my awards. They're in storage, kind of like, but I mean, it was a long time ago, but it was still at the height of my career when I was a journalist, and it was just something I would never forget. When I got the first place award, it was in Savannah. Didn't even make the award ceremony. Me and my mom, we went down there, but we didn't make it in time because we had to drive from Atlanta down there, and we didn't make it in time to do all these stories while I left. So anyway, I didn't make it in time, but my mother was there, and she did know that I got the first place award. And you know how it is when your mom sees you at your best. I mean, that is just something that we live for, we strive for. And while my mother never did really understand what a journalist did, she never really I don't know if she ever appreciated what I did, because when she realized I wasn't making that much money as a journalist, I think the interest went out the window. So, um, but I know my mother was proud of me. I remember seeing her sit down and just going through my articles, just going page after page after page. And it's just nothing like your mom going through your body of work. And not only that, seeing you be acknowledged for your work. To get a first place journalism award is definitely not easy because it's voted on by people who don't know you. All they have is your work, you know, and they're from a different state, so they may not even have the same. I think our entries was graded from people from Hoisers, Indiana, I believe. I think I'm saying it right. So you just totally different newspaper of news folks evaluating your work, and I know I put a lot of work into that. I mean, it's no joke. I spent months and months when I would get off work, and I would just be there interviewing people. I mean, and it all started with the first place journalist award. It all started for me doing a story about bats. It was just a innocuous story about bats, and it just turned into this thing where all this corruption and greed and theft and misappropriation of funds was going on. And it ended up with the director being, and thanks to my work. I mean, it's no joke. I'm going to show that one day because it just it's still I'm still proud of that moment because I know how much work I put in. And I literally left the newspaper without doing the story because I wasn't prepared, moved to Illinois, came back to the newspaper in Georgia, remembered, oh, I was supposed to do that story, but I didn't know what I was doing. So then I just said, you know what? I'm working on the story. I started working on it, and to see what it manifested, and what just knowing I was helping others. I mean, really, the award was really not the biggest thing. It was just knowing I was helping seniors, people in need, lower income, people that didn't have anywhere to go. I'm fighting for our taxpayers, honey. It was a whole mess. Okay. Um, and that's what I did. I was a crime and courts and investigative reporter. So yeah. So anyway, so I can understand, Tommy, you know, like Tommy would step to Wendy, okay, about his mom and dad. Like he's all about it, okay. But at the same time, he was a little out of order, in his delivery. And some people might say I'm out of order with me taking a hard line with my situation. But I had, after my nephew died, it created this situation that I really couldn't penetrate. And there was just some places that I could reach, my family on. And, I just gave up, honestly, I gave up. I just say, you know what? Maybe it's just not meant to be, and I just had to draw a line in the sand, and nobody likes drawing a line in the sand when it comes to your family, okay? But at some point, you can only do so much. And if a person's not receptive, you wanting to help in the way that you know how, then, or you try to help in other ways and you don't feel like you're being, well received, then you just have to face the facts. And my therapist, which I do love, by the way. I don't know if I said I was going to a therapist. I know I said it on the other video that I had filmed like 40 minutes and realized the voice was out. But anyway, yeah, I've been going to a therapist like Wendy. Wendy says she's going to a therapist, but I don't know. Cause you know what? I gotta watch these people that say they go there and they talk like it's your girlfriend or something. Like I no, my therapist. If I'm doing something out of order, my therapist would be like, no, okay, that's unacceptable. Or you need to look at this, or maybe look at it from a different angle, or could you consider this? Um, a therapist is there to guide you. So if you're just controlling the conversation and controlling the narrative, that's not a good therapist. That therapist is supposed to guide you, okay, um, mentally, and also be a comfort to you. So Wendy, think about that, okay? I always said that Wendy was a little too free. Wendy needs to be checked by somebody. I don't know who, but I feel like they just give her way too much range. Like I know she's in charge of the show, but Wendy could be wrong, okay? And I don't mind saying so, but I will say this, that I've been happy with the progress that I've seen that she's made since she's been back from her hiatus from her bereavement. And I feel like I'm jumping all over the place. And the reason is because I said a lot from my last video, and I'm so mad that y'all couldn't hear me. And you know what? Nobody even told me that y'all couldn't hear me until 40 minutes in. Then somebody wrote in there, we can't hear you. I pulled it up on my phone. I was like, oh my God, you can't hear me. So embarrassed. So embarrassed. But YouTube been trying me anyway. Like I'll have a whole live and it won't upload. Like it'll keep saying waiting, waiting, waiting. I had a video that I tried to upload for like 5 hours and never did upload. So that's why I'm on this spotty camera thing, because on my phone it never even uploaded. So yeah, Wendy needs to be checked. Somebody there needs to be checking her. I don't care. Everybody needs to be checked. Okay, just there has to be checks and balances in everything, because otherwise people just run amok. And I feel like it would be a good thing. So, but anyway, I personally thought it was wrong for Wendy to call out her brother like that, because Wendy has such a large platform, and not only that, she knows she has a lot of fans and a lot of haters, and they could just go and just take down this man page. I mean, haters can be very brutal, okay, and they could do a lot of mean things. So that wasn't right for Wendy to do that to her brother. I don't know, but like to insinuate his alleged sexual orientation is not what we are being led to believe, and things of like she never liked him, and she said all you are, Tommy, is my brother. Ooh, that stung. That stung, honey. I wonder if that's what my family feel about me. All you are is my sister. You don't mean nothing to me. That cut like a knife. And I told y'all in my last video, hopefully y'all watched it, about sometimes I swear I've lived portions of um of Wendy Williams' story, like I would be considered Tommy. But I was never really close to my family, like really none of them. I had kind of a rocky relationship with my mother, um, and that was due to her choice and spouse. We never saw eye to eye with him, and so that would cause friction with her. I definitely love my mother more than anything. And when my mother died in 2008, it was like my heart, a portion of my heart left. And I kind of talked about that. So feel free to watch that video. So the next thing I want to talk, oh, I wish Wendy well. How you doing? Okay. And I wish you well, girl. I want you to win, Wendy. Okay. It ain't no hate over here, but I'm also not a stan. Okay. And I have a journalism background, so I want to try to be balanced, and I want to be fair to all parties. Okay. So, and Wendy, I got to say this, Wendy, you need to stop over talking in your interviews. Like, it is becoming a distraction. Okay. And I understand you want to over talk them, you want to take over, you want to dominate the conversation, but it's not a good look, Wendy. You come off as a bully, and you come off as meaning to some of your interviewers, and you're just being overbearing, Wendy. And now I know you have a right because you are a mogul, you are a TV mogul, but just soften up somewhat, okay, to some of your interviewers, because they don't have the experience you have. But you wouldn't want a Barbara Walters or a Diane Sawyer or somebody like that to kind of overtalk you like that. That's rude, Wendy. And I know, your brand is give it to them straight and give it to them raw and give it to them good. But just try to soften it. Try to maybe tailor it a little more to people who aren't as seasoned. For example, when I saw you talking to Claudia Jordan, I just felt like you took over the interview, which was distracting because I know Claudia would have liked to guide the conversation a little more, and you kind of took over. But Claudia was like, you know what, it don't matter because you making my day anyway, because you was spilling so much tea that it ended up being okay. But just remember, put yourself in other people's shoes when you were a young Wendy, and if you were being interviewed by like a big gun, like an Oprah, like you wouldn't want that. Just remember, you want to think about the lasting impression you leave people with, okay? And that's why I say anybody can be checked, you know. And go back and look at some of those interviews, especially the one with Claudia Jordan, and see how you overpowered her in a lot of the conversation, and it's not cool. But anyway, I wish Wendy Williams well. I'm happy she's doing much better. Her looks are popping. I like most of her looks. The only thing different I would do is I would like to see. I like one day when you came in with your eyes real done up, honey. I would like to see a little more drama, with some of your eye looks, a little more poppy color, I love your nail color, by the way. I love that show pink that you wear. I love that. I feel like just keep that on all the time. And I like that you're making more of an effort, okay, to be less of a toxic um boss or figurehead or someone of a figure of authority figure towards Norman and Miss Suzanne. I see you're making more of an effort. I see you kind of spaz a little bit with Norman, but have been doing better. So I'm always gonna let me tell you something. I'm always gonna give people their flowers. I'm never gonna go here just trashing people unless I just can't find anything positive to say. Then I might have to trash. But I try not to ever. I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. So just knowing what you were going through, you lost your husband, he had a baby out of wedlock, you were dealing with addiction issues, you lost your home, you lost your favorite DJ. We still don't know what happened with DJ Booth. Um, you got uprooted. Okay, you lost your mom. So just knowing you've been through everything makes sense now, Wendy. We're getting a picture. We're not having to make up stories because we don't have any facts. You filled us well in, Wendy. And I gotta say about your integrity a little more when you were not being totally honest with us about that divorce situation. And you said everything is good in Hunter land. Wait, did I go? I didn't mean to put my middle finger. When you had up your middle finger, you was like, all's good in Hunterland, and you were just doing too much. You were doing too many shenanigans. But I appreciate you though, Wendy, because you did the poker face so good, honey. And I think at the end of the day, that's the takeaway we need to get. You have to let up. Wait, let me read. This is a perfect Wendy girl. This perfect meme for you for this moment. I got a couple of memes in here for you, Wendy. Sometimes you got to play the fool to fool the fool that thinks they're fooling you. Let me say that again. Sometimes you got to play the fool to fool the fool that thinks they're fooling you. So Wendy, I get it. You had to kind of play a role because unfortunately, he's watching and he probably got many kind of show all your cards, and you were doing a poker face, okay? So I'm willing to give you a pass, okay? And just knowing all you've been through and just knowing how, when my mom died in 2008, I've just never been the same, and knowing just like if like when my mother had her stroke, I just stopped everything. I just said everything, fuck you, okay? Life, fuck you, okay? I went down to stay in my mother's apartment and I was going to the hospital every day and I was trying to sleep in a room with her and I was trying to spend the night there and I kept looking on videos trying to see about miracle cures and miracle this and miracle that. And just knowing you were going through all of this while you were running a show and trying to keep your son normal. I mean, Wendy, you you gave us something to aspire to. You gave us a playbook, honey. And I gotta, if I'm wrong, I'm going to admit that I was wrong. And I may not be wrong as far as, the integrity part because you're a gossip columnist, but you are somebody that people respect, and pay attention to. And you can, affect a lot of people's lives. I mean, honey, look, I got this people, with my words, with my words, I was saying in my last thing that, I was a crime and course reporter and I even went to an execution. So, I was an official witness for the state. So integrity is the is the forefront of what we do. Um, integrity is everything. So if no one can believe what we say, then that affects your stories, that affects how people, respond to your advertisers when you say, hey, go out and get this product. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that we all kind of know now. And I want everybody, please, 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 I'm asking everybody, knowing that this lady was carrying all this weight on her shoulders while she was running a full-time media conglomerate, um, knowing she was carrying all this weight on her and, have been made into a fool like that, who couldn't keep his stuff in his pants. We all gotta give Wendy a pass. Like we all gotta join together and just give a collective hug. I mean, most people would have collapsed under the weight just for one of those incidents. But you lost your husband, you lost your job, you don't trust your husband, your son and the father were fighting. Your mom got sick. She died. You had an incident with the abuse. I mean the substance abuse. You were in a halfway house. You had a sponsor. I mean, this was all too much. And I applaud you, Wendy. I mean, I'm for real. I gotta applaud you, sister. I gotta applaud you because now that I see it in full 360, you know what I'm saying? We can kind of look at it from the fishbowl standpoint. Maybe you did that. Okay. So I want us all, I don't care what y'all got to say about Wendy. Wendy is a trooper, okay? And I know I've been hard on Wendy. I say whatever I need to say because I don't want people saying, "Oh, see, no, on this channel, I tell everybody, you come on this channel, you see, I say I was a news reporter. So I'm going to report the news, okay? And whether you want to hear it or not, I'm going to report the news. Now, I'm not going to do it in a news reporter way, because my channel is still kind of coming back up. But I'm going to be fair and balanced. Okay, so we got to give this girl credit. We all got to stand up and we got to clap for Wendy because this was amazing. I mean, to know that you carry all this weight and during the middle of a pandemic, we're all isolated, we're all frustrated, we're all mad, and you had to carry all this weight, honey, and you did it. And you got two movies coming up, girl. You got a contract with Lifetime. Girl, you did that. Okay. And I want your secrets. I want your autograph. And I want you to call me, Wendy, because first of all, I'm a good fan. I'm a good fan, but you do need somebody. You need some sounding boards. You don't need a bunch of yes men in your life, Wendy. That is not good. Think about your son. You're raising a son. What if everybody around him always told him yes? What is that going to do for him? In the real world, when the real world starts telling him no, that's going to set him up for failure. Okay? We have to, just like you have to tell your son no and you don't want to tell him no, but you know it's better and it's for his good, people have to tell you no. And, that kind of thing. So anyway, and what else I want to talk? Okay, T.I. and Tiny. Well, yeah, everybody have y'all popcorn ready. T.I. and Tiny, this whole thing with them. Okay, and this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, and I don't care. I don't care. There's people, I don't care. There's people, I know I say, about sacred cows and stuff, but there's people that I'm personally not upset with. Okay, I'm not upset with Bill Cosby. I'm not upset with Michael Jackson. And I'm not upset with T.I. Now, and I'm not upset with Barack Obama. Okay, those are people that I'm just going to hold a special place for because I've always loved T.I. I've always respected Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby bailed out my college, my alma mater, Fisk University, when we didn't have any money. We were on the verge of bankruptcy, and Bill came with the millions, honey. Okay, so Bill is always. I'm so sorry to the victims if they don't agree, but everybody knew that Bill was married. Okay, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. Okay, so you cross that line. If you color outside the lines, I'm not gonna say that anybody deserved anything because honestly, I am a sexual abuse victim. Okay, so I would never say that, but I do feel that there needs to be a standard held. Just like somebody, like in your real life, when we're not celebrities, people can't come in your circle and just start making allegations about you that's not founded. I don't believe that we should just take everybody's word at face value. There needs to be a vetting process. There needs to be uh, not all these anonymous sources. There needs to be um, some real accountability, and we need to, kind of vet these people a little more and see what they got to gain, and hey, were they paid off in any way? Like, you can't just start, I just don't, these cases are just too problematic for me because a lot of these people get money and then they change their story. So, like, no, these are not victims to me. In my opinion, they're not victims because if you accept payment for something, then you have waived your right, um you know for this other thing. So, but anyway, look, we're probably never going to agree, but I'm always going to ride for Michael Jackson. I'm always going to ride for Bill Cosby. I'm always going to ride for T.I., and I'm always going to ride for Barack Obama. Those are people. I don't care what y'all tell me. I'm not gonna listen. Okay, um, because these are people that it just seemed like everybody loves to hate, you know what I'm saying? And it's not right. It's not right because when I think about Bill Cosby and I think about T.I., I think about what do they have in common? Okay, both of them are out there speaking up for Black families, for Black neighborhoods, speaking out for injustice. Well, I can't say Bill Cosby speaking out for injustice, but T.I. speaking out for injustice. So, and he's promoting a Black family value. Okay, Black family values. Both T.I. and Cosby were promoting these things, right? But they're the ones being attacked, right? So is it a coincidence? Okay. Maybe, I don't know. It just seems all of these attacks are starting to feel very calculated, very deliberate. It's starting to seem like a definite, like the way they're coming after Russell Simmons, and it just seems like they're going after people, but nobody still can't figure out how to convict R. Kelly. Like, look, that R. Kelly, I say throw the book at him. Okay, throw the book at him. Okay, but I'm sorry. Look, I have the right to my opinion. It is unpopular opinion, but I'm just not going to believe like. And I want everybody else to think about this too. Don't be so quick to throw away what you know about a person. If you know, I mean, I know T.I. has a problematic past, and so does Bill Cosby, but you know, you can't, like, you have to wait it out, man. I mean, look, this man wasn't with no underage women. Like, you know, like I'm going, or I'm going to need some concrete proof where these victims are not as suspect as the charges that they're bringing. Again, I'm going to need some clean suspects. I mean, some clean victims, because then I just don't feel right. I feel like it's a setup. I really do. I really do. And it broke my heart the way they came after Michael Jackson. Like, I remember watching him going to the trial. I mean, he was like, my back is messed up, and like, I just, I mean, I felt like, whew. I mean, he was walking to the courtroom with the walker. And I just feel like, look, man, everybody ain't guilty, man. And even if they are guilty, look, man, people, like, okay, let me put it this way. I come from a news background, a real newspaper, you know, that was recognized by the Atlanta Associated Press and the Georgia Press Association. Okay, so there's a standard that needs to be met for bloggers. You shouldn't be able to say any old thing and actually get charges brought forward because of it. Like, there needs to be a vetting. Somebody needs to hold these standards, because it's Bill Cosby today, Michael Jackson tomorrow, uh, T.I. next week, and it's gonna be your family members the week after next. And let's face it, have you ever heard of anything called false allegations? Like, the the award that I got a journalism award, a second place award for this guy who spent like 20 something years in jail for a crime he didn't commit. And let me see if I can find his name. Yeah, he spent like 20 something years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. Okay. And when he was convicted, the sheriff who happened, you know, may God rest his soul, uh, Sheriff Winters, Kerry Winters, he's a good friend of mine. He was also, a news source, but he ended up being one of my best friends. Okay, so matter of fact, when my mother died, when my mother had her stroke, I had $0 in my account, and I picked up the phone and I called this sheriff, not a deputy, not a police officer, the sheriff of the town. He answered my call like he always did on the first ring. He knew who it was. He had my name saved in his phone. And he was like, he used to always answer for, hey, how you doing? How you doing, Suge? And I was like, look, I'm down on my luck. Look, I need $50. Can you help me with $50 so I can at least get some gas so I can get down to my mom? And he wired the money to me, okay? And let me tell you, I was not happy at all to be asking him for anything, because that's not the relationship we had, and it was inappropriate. But like I said, I've been estranged for many, many, many years, and I didn't have anybody to ask at that moment. And he came through. So What was his name? His name was Dale. Let's see. So when this man got a release, okay, when this man got convicted, right? The sheriff happened to be in court that day because the sheriff used to be a police officer, and then I think you end up going to the sheriff's department. I think that's like their rite of passage. So you work in the police department, then you go work for the department, and then you run for sheriff. So at this time, he was still a city cop. And he remembers the court case because he remembered the guy saying, "I didn't do this, man." And like he remembered, like, because the sheriff has passed on and he's in heaven. So um, he remembered the shrill in his voice, like he felt like everybody felt he probably didn't do it, but unfortunately, look, all the evidence, it was all circumstantial, but it was enough to convict him, and the jurors convicted him. So he spent all that time in jail for a crime he didn't commit. And how often do you think that happens among blacks? How often? I may not have the statistics, but we can all agree it's probably a lot, right? Because a lot of minorities don't have access to funds that can help them get the lawyers that they can help, defeat some of these cases, right? And a lot of times, even people I know didn't do the crime, but when they get hit with a plea deal, it's like, because like, no, it's just a presumption of guilt. That unfortunately minorities feel the weight of when they go before the court, and a lot of times they can know for a fact they didn't commit this crime. Now me and you, we will fight to the day to the end, okay? But sometimes when you get that weight on you and you're like, okay, if you don't win, you're going to get 30 years in prison. Or if you take this plea, you'll get like 2 years, 5 months to serve. And most black boys, I don't want to say just black boys because that's my frame of reference. They will take the plea. And they didn't do not okay, some of them did it. Let's be honest. Some of them did do it, right? But a lot of the ones that are taking the pleas may not be guilty. They just don't feel that they're going to beat the case. They don't have money for a lawyer that is on them. Maybe their mom is holding their household together. Like I had a friend who went to jail, and I'm trying to find the name of I'm trying to find the man's name. But anyway, for illustration, but yeah, here it is. This right here. This guy right here. You can't really see him. But this guy, mm, terrible, terrible lighting. But anyway, this guy right here, Dwayne Dale, Dail. Y'all can look him up. He was exonerated after serving 18 years in prison. He went to jail when he was only 20 years old. getting out when he's 40. Half of his life is gone, and he did not commit this crime. Okay. So, what I'm trying to tell y'all is that, this social media is very dangerous because when you try somebody in the court of public opinion, it's not fair because people are automatically going to assume anything they see in the news, I mean, not the news, but anything they see on social media, and especially when a lot of people are saying the same thing. But let's face it, has anybody gotten anything wrong about you? Has anybody made any false statements about you that you heard from more than one source, but it was still false, right? But what if they all presented that in on social media, and you had hundreds and thousands of people reading this, and you're being dragged on the internet and all this stuff? Like, it's not right. That's why we need to vet. I'm sorry, we need to vet these people. Look, man, I don't mean no harm, and I'm definitely not victim shaming anybody, because I told you I have been a victim of sexual abuse, right? But at the same time, as much as I would like to bring, the person responsible, for my incident, to justice and everything, I wouldn't want the wrong person to go to jail. I wouldn't just be like, well, look, go to the lineup. Oh, I don't see him, but he's good. Like, he's good as anybody. Somebody got to pay. You know what I'm saying? No, we got to come on now, y'all. See, y'all taking this too far. Like, everybody makes it into something so trivial. Like, and look at the people. Like, I was looking at T.I. and Tiny situation. Rena Peterson, she stabbed this girl. Allegedly. Well, it looked like she was convicted of it or something. She went to jail for it or something, but she sliced this girl, 19-year-old girl, up allegedly, and hurt this girl, in a like a love triangle thing, allegedly. This was in that I just read this, or just saw this in 2017. My thing is this. Look, we need to have a standard. Okay. And you can't use a bunch of anonymous sources. That's irresponsible. See, that's what I liked about journalism. There was a standard there. Okay, Harvey Weinstein case. I'm sure people went to the news media, right? But the victims had to be vetted. If they were not credible witnesses or credible sources, those stories didn't make the light of day, because first of all, you could get your ass sued, man. That's defamation of character. If it turns out to be unfounded, you've already think about the guy that was accused of setting the bomb off in Centennial Park. Everybody said it was him. The whole world said it was him. It must have been him. Come to find out, it wasn't even him. Okay. And so by this time, his character had been defamed, and they had to pay him. You ruined somebody's. Like, are you serious? Yo, you can't go to church. You people looking at you for, and you make, let's just take the people. I want to take T.I. and Tiny or whoever off the table, but just think about somebody didn't commit the crime, right? But you got 10 people willing to say that they committed a crime. So people are going to automatically believe, well, all 10 can't be lying. Oh, yes, the fuck they can be lying. They all can be lying. Hasn't anybody ever lied on you? Has anybody ever told any stories on you? Has anybody said the same thing about you that was false? Okay. So why do we lower the bar so low for such egregious allegations? It's not right. I know y'all just like, oh, Lee, you no. I mean, because I know some people gonna be like, oh, you support Bill Cosby, you support T.I., you support Michael Jackson. Look, let me tell you, I will fight for Michael Jackson. Like I will fight for Michael Jackson. And like I said, Bill Cosby, look, he came through for Fisk. Look, he got all my respect. And look, I feel like if people took money, look, you look just as bad, in my opinion. Because you look like, oh, when the money stopped, then you had a story to tell. So no, it's kind of like and now this is a bad analogy, but it's kind of like a man who goes to a hotel room, right? You know, for sexual favors, right? With a prostitute, right? And then they say they got robbed. The person robbed him. Now, a lot of now, okay, I'm not laughing, but I'm just saying this happens a lot. So a lot of times the police are like, okay, do you really want me to press these charges? I gotta file a report and you gotta be willing to testify. Your wife might find out, like, is this what you want? So look, man, y'all gotta consider the sources on this. Y'all gotta, because of that, y'all just can't be so quick to judge, man. Like, it just seemed like y'all believe if 50 people say the same thing, oh, it must be right. No, no. All 50 people need to get a lie detector test. All 50. And the ones that got the fake that don't pass, we need to put as much effort into putting their name and putting them on blast, because it's actually a crime to file a false report. That is a crime. Just like saying you live in a hood and you really live in that neighborhood just to get in this school is a crime, because when you sign, that's your sworn document, or sworn signature that you agree and attest that this is correct. So when you sign it, that's why it's a crime, because you're swearing and affirming. So when they find out, hey, you don't live in this neighborhood and you're getting the benefit of this nice school, that's why it's a crime. You made a false report. Okay. And so, yeah, you can't have a bunch of people jumping on bandwagon talking about, oh, it's an anonymous source. Oh, they can't come for. No, look, in the court of law, you have a right to face your accusers. In a court of law, everyone has a right to face their accusers and be able to wage a defense. Well, you bring a bunch of, one person might be telling the truth, but the other 29 are lying. But you're trying to sway the court of public opinion by saying, oh, 30 people are saying the same thing, they must be telling the truth. Look, half the country is divided on who should even be running the country. Who do you listen to? The country is divided. Who do you listen to? Right? So just like you can't make a good case for that, why is it so easy to just malign people's character on social media? It's just horrible. It's just horrible. But I know I'm probably not going to change everybody's opinion, but to the reasonable ones, I want y'all to hear me on this. Like, I'm serious. I'm serious as a heart. Like, when I hear these stories about all these different people that were attacked and everything, the first thing I think about was, hey, well, did they pass a lie detector test? Like, what's up? Like, no. You saying this happened 20 years ago and you just want to talk about it now? You still got to get a lie detector test. No. Otherwise, anybody can just say anything, make these wild accusations. People do make false allegations. Haven't you ever heard of the story, the boy that cried wolf? It happens. A woman could blame a man for beating her up, or a man could blame a woman for just Oh, I broke up with this girl, right? I broke up with this girl. I only broke up one girl, and I come outside and my tire slashed. So, oh, just because I just broke up with one girl and my tires are slashed, it don't mean that girl did it. Okay, it's probably likely, right? But do you just go get the girl and throw her in jail just because she was the last? She was the only possible one that makes sense. No, you gotta investigate. It gotta meet the. You gotta take things to the paces. That's why it is a court of law, and it is a court because people lie. If people didn't lie, there would be no reason to have a court. You see what I'm saying? There would be no reason for there to be a crime called perjury. Okay? That means that you lie under oath. And that's what that sworn statement again. Hey, when you do your taxes, you sign the thing saying, hey, this is accurate, this is accounted for. And so, hey, if you sign and they find otherwise, hey, you just broke a law. Okay. So even if they figure, that out, and they feel like, oh, you lied on your paper, they can't just come and arrest you just right then and there. They gotta build a case. They gotta say, okay, did she know? Did she file the taxes? Did someone help her? You gotta, yeah, no. That bar needs to be high, honey. And justice is blind. And I should be able to put my blindfold on, and I should be able to tip the scales one way or the other. A lot of journalists want to be lawyers, okay, and vice. A lot of lawyers want to be reporters. So, like, you just can't come up here like with me when I was a journalist. You, if okay, I'm a reporter, right? And somebody said, "Oh, the DA, he did blase, blase, blase." And I go to my editor, and I say, "Hey, somebody told me that the DA did so and so." And she's like, "Yeah, okay. Well, where's the proof? Okay, now have you vetted this person? Okay, did you see what kind of character did you see what they bring to the table? Like who are their associates? Like can you get it verified from more than one source? Is there corroboration? Even at work, if somebody goes to your boss and says something about you, you don't just get fired that moment. They ask you, hey, did you do that? Did you say that? Well, why did you say that? Or who else heard her say this? Okay. They don't just go off of just, oh, it must be right. No. They go, okay, how is this employee normally? I mean, is that out of character? Are they going through something? They kind of get all this. But obviously I can't say, obviously, I was not in any of the rooms with these people, right? So I can't say what they did, but I'm just going to say that I personally, I know a lot of people give T.I. a lot of flack. I personally have a lot of respect for T.I. Now, the funny thing is, Tiny actually dragged me on social media. She actually dragged me. She actually blocked me on social media. And I was actually complimenting her. Well, this is what had happened. This is what had happened was, okay, I ran my little side business are laying dormant at the time, at present, right? So math and English tutor, and for grades 1 or kindergarten through 12, um and also I help with the GED and the GED test, and then also do social media. So I mean, look, man, I went on there because I was a tutor at the time with Jacob Lattimore, right? And I know that Tiny's daughter was in the OMG girls, and I was trying to tutor the OMG girls and another guy by the name of Issa, Issa Thompson. He's a rapper, right? So I went on Twitter. Do you need a tutor? Because I was kind of new to Twitter, and there's parts of me that will never understand Twitter, parts of me that will never understand Facebook or Instagram, although I use them quite a bit. And I didn't know to put that in context. You only got so many characters. And she was like, "No, I don't need no tutor. I don't need help." Right? Oh my God, she. This is before I even knew what a clapback was, honey. Because I think she actually had a team of people that was going on there clapping back at people. So I was like, oh my God, I can't believe she picked that as a diss. I was talking about her daughter. I was gonna tutor her because obviously at this time it was a long time ago because I was tutoring Jacob Lattimore, and Jacob Lattimore plays in the Shy, right? And he's a singer. So this is when they were younger, okay. And I got the idea from Tiny's mom. I'm not Tiny's mom. Candy's mom. Candy's mom. Because I met Candy. I met Miss Mama Joyce one day on the set of Jacob Lattimore's video, and I have like a little snippet when I was actually there on this channel. Um, it was like behind the scenes. It says like Jacob Lattimore behind the scenes video, something like that. Feel free to check that out if you want. You got to look way down in the list. And yeah, and I said that she not only put that, but she blocked me. So I was like, well, she took it the wrong way, but I didn't mean it like that. I was talking about her daughter, but. But anyway, it don't matter. It don't matter. The point is that look, Sabrina Peterson looks like she has had a vendetta against those people. I don't know how long it goes back, but at least since 2017, based on what I saw. Because I was looking up a video, and I'm gonna try to find the link because I was just watching it from Lovely T, and it was talking about the girl. And I will put the link in here, but I'm just like, no, like, baby, no. Like, I work hard for my reputation and my good name, and people shouldn't be able to just show up and say whatever, and everybody just say, oh, well, 50 people said it, it must be right. No, we got 50. Look, the more money you make, the more haters you gonna get. The more people are motivated by money, they could be paid off. Like, they were saying, like, okay, for example, like at the cap. Now I know this is something totally different, and I'm not making any statements about the Capitol siege because I think the Capitol siege was wrong. Okay, but somebody was saying that people were actually not all of those people were protesters. Some of those people were paid actors. Okay, because I had something on my Instagram page from a guy saying that he got paid to be a play as a protester. So some of those people were paid. Okay, so look, just because somebody say something about you, we shouldn't all just be willing to just throw them all away just from one statement from one person who has a axe to grind and is jealous. Okay, we should vet all accusers. Wait, did I say that right? Yeah. We should vet all accusers, even if it's me. Okay, even if I'm the accuser, vet me. Because best believe you piss me off, I might say something nasty towards you. That doesn't mean it's true. Okay. So you should vet everybody because Like I said, it doesn't matter whether it's Ti. It doesn't matter whether it's Bill. It just matters that this is justice. Okay, justice is supposed to be fair and balanced. And that's why we have a court. Because otherwise we will have chaos and anarchy. So, but that's all I want to say about that. Now, other thing I want to talk about was I was sad to see, I wasn't able to get back on these stories, but I was sad to see that Nene Leakes, her little business got impacted by the what do you call it? The pandemic. She did close Swagg Boutique down. I'm actually glad she closed it because, in my opinion, there were no good items there. There wasn't anything there for the plus size girls like myself. It's just nothing. I tried my best trying to put on this. It was like an extra large shirt. I was trying my best to get it on, but I couldn't get it on, honey. I couldn't get that thing. And I think, oh yeah, no, I had to get it on. And then like just the clothes they had in there looked like something Nene would put on. Like you know how she wears all those colors and she wears all those muumuus and long things and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, isn't I know Nene says she's a size 6, but she doesn't read like a size 6. She reads like a size 12, 14. Okay. Uh, and I don't think it was much in there that she could fit. But she had them long, drapey things. I'm like, no, it wasn't nothing in there that I liked. So I'm glad to see that go. Now, if you redo it, Mimi, because you can redo it, think about everybody, or if you don't think about everybody, think about your customer. Think about think about the market research aspect of who will be coming in there, who are my fans, who will be more likely to support me, and let that be your guide, okay? And if that means that you don't think you have any plus size fans, then I guess there you go. But generally in Georgia, look, we got a little meat on our bones. We got sweet tea. We got a little meat on our bones. So just remember us, Nene, next time. I wasn't sad that she's no longer on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Although now that she's gone, it is moving kind of slow. But she came in the last end of the season, and she kind of brought it all the way home. She gave us enough to get to the reunion, but she's just so problematic when she gets like she never wants to answer any questions at the reunion, and she's so dismissive. And I just don't like how she just doesn't want to cooperate during the reunion. So and how she's always like closed down and closed off towards everybody. Everybody's a problem except for her. So I just feel like if she's actually going to a therapist or a life coach, whatever, and she's still blaming everybody else. So I just feel like yeah, we needed a break from her. But y'all not trying to trick me, okay? Y'all was supposed to be bringing Phaedra Parks back, okay? Y'all need to bring Phaedra Parks back. Y'all supposed to be bringing her back. I heard y'all was bringing her back, and I did not see her. Okay. The other update I wanted to do on the bar chicks. Okay. I had a whole falling out back and forth with one of the guys from Bar Chicks. Okay, and I'm just gonna say allegedly because he went back and reported my post um on Instagram. And he got my post taken down, so I don't have any receipts because I didn't think he was that petty. Um Yeah, I didn't think he was that petty to get my post taken down, and I have no idea why they took the post down because it was my opinion. But yeah, this guy right here, Okay, well, we'll just say allegedly the manager of the location wanted to make some very disparaging remarks to me about why I had something to say about bar chicks. And I thought it was very interesting that he said that. And I was hoping that instead of attacking your customers, because I was a customer at one point, and I would never go back because the service was so horrendous that I couldn't even find myself. I couldn't even be bothered to give it another chance. Um, and it was a shame too because I really love Trina Braxton. I'm a big fan of hers. Obviously, she's kind of in line, but my hierarchy is Tony Braxton, then it's Tamar, and then it's um, Trina, right? In that order, okay? And then I don't even know Tracy is like last, and Tawanda is not even on the list. Like I just don't get with Tawanda. But anyway, Bar Chicks, you can see it has 2 stars, or can you see that? Well, anyway, feel free to go on Yelp and put in Bar Chicks, and you will see they have 2.5 stars. Okay, so so I don't know why the manager decided to come after me. First of all, is I actually run a social media business, and it is not it's not appropriate for a manager or anyone in leadership to attack the customers when they have something disparaging to say, because at the end of the day, we only get better by feedback, good and bad. That's how Ford or whoever is able to take back a product that wasn't such a great fit and actually make it better. That's how the world works, honey. Everybody's not going to give you hugs and kisses about every little thing, especially when you're asking for my money. I'm going to tell you the truth. Now, what these other people do, they sugarcoat, everybody sugarcoats everything. Everything is perfect. Nope. Nope, not with me. With me, you're going to get the real. So I told them, look, this ain't it. But I ain't the only one. Can you see? 1 star. This camera's so bad. But anyway, I'm looking at 1 star, 2 star. Uh, yeah, 2 star. Awful drinks. My drinks tasted medicinal. Food was good. Service was good. The next time I will order beer or wine. That was. Oh my goodness. Oh, 1 star. Lauren B. Okay. She said, yikes. The garlic wings were slimy and had no flavor. Our waiter literally walked out of the door with a drink in his hand and was MIA for a good bit. Catfish basket, flavorless. Do not order the salad with the lamb because it is literally a pinch of lettuce with some mystery meat looking lamb. Oh yeah, and flavorless. The staff was huddled in the back, joking around while I'm waiting for the bill. Guess it wasn't all bad for me though, since they forgot to charge you for a drink. We paid $80 and ended up going down to the street to Stony River to rinse the bad taste out of our mouth. And I was so excited to finally come here too. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is how ignorant this manager is. He actually responded to this girl. He said, I received a message. Please refrain from coming back to Bar Chicks. Your business definitely is not needed, but thank you for the review on the establishment. How rude. And then this is the person that Trina Braxton wants to hire, and he speaks to her customers. This is unheard of. This is actually a firing offense by most standards. And now we see why bar chicks had to move, because yeah, they weren't getting any traffic because it was bad. It was bad, a bad location. It was a beautiful location. It's just that unfortunately they were kind of on the outskirts of Atlanta. And like I said, when you're creating a business, you have to think about market research. Okay, who are your customers, where are they coming from? They're more than likely coming from Atlanta because they're going to be like fans, and they're not going to realize that, hey, this restaurant is like 30 45 minutes away. In traffic, it could be like an hour or two away from the city based on traffic, and with the all the traffic. Look, after that, the girl responded back. She said, pretty sure I wasn't coming back. That's why I made the review. I gotta like that one. I gotta like that one. I cannot believe that he said is making excuses, but I think she's missing the biggest point. We're saying, look, you can have a location in the middle of a igloo in Antarctica. In Antarctica, right? But if the service is good and the food is good, people will come. She's missing the point. She's believing the hype that this manager is telling her is the location. And yeah, Trina, location, but it's really the management, because if the management thinks it's okay to harass people for having disparaging remarks, then it's a shame. Okay, let's see if there's any more. Mhm. Oh my god. Oh. Mm, ooh. See, sad thing is you can't really you can't even see this, but look, this one was LR. It says was not what I expected. They gave it 1 star. Traveling here from Maryland to support Trina, I was highly disappointed. I love the Braxtons, and this was not up to their standards. The food was watery and runny. I ordered the seafood dip, which did not have any jumbo lump. It was really watery. I then ordered the garlic parmesan wings, and they were horrible. They were drowned in the sauce to the point where the chicken was soggy. I bragged about going to the place to be disappointed with everything, including the service. Our waitress name was BB, and it took her over 20 minutes to even take our drink order and to introduce herself. It was not busy at all, so there was no excuse for this wait. I was really it was really warm and uncomfortable. Hopefully this will help Trina with her establishment. I posted pictures of the food. Unfortunately, you can't see the food, but it is literally the oh yeah, you can see it a little bit because I mean I know my camera quality is horrible. But the food is drowned is not even oh my god. So yeah, just feel free to go on Bar Chicks on Yelp, spell Barchix. And I'm just appalled that this is what happens when you give honest feedback. In my field, feedback is considered a gift, okay? And if you are a paying customer and somebody hated their experience, don't you want to know what they didn't like so you can fix it? See, that's what a smart business person or a smart manager would think, but not someone like this person. Okay. And his name is, and we'll just go ahead and say allegedly, but the owner of I'm not going to say that I spoke to him because he could say, oh, he didn't. But the owner, the manager's name is Tay Dove. Okay. So he is an abomination. I know that's who I spoke to, but he got my post taken down. So I'll just say allegedly. It was allegedly him. But I remember the name began with a T, and I knew he was the manager there. And on here it says he's the business partner or the GM. So Trina, you need to remove Tay. Okay, Tay is out of control. All right, so back to now Nene. I don't know how this is going to go, but she might actually do better with this. She is opening up a. Let's see. She's opening up a lounge, okay? And she said, girl, in order to come to her lounge, and I'm so sorry, I'm trying to pay attention to y'all, but I'm trying to, get the good tea for y'all. She said, honey, if you gonna come to her place, you better be ready. She gonna have a drink minimum or a spending limit minimum, and y'all better be ready to pop some bottles, honey, because she is not playing with y'all. I was actually offended by that statement that y'all it's gonna be a bottle minimum, and people with money gotta come here. I was actually offended by that statement, but I also know that hey, you can't run a business with people coming in, just to people watch and buy one drink. So we'll let her slide with that. Now, just so you're aware, and I'm not being biased, or I'm being totally honest. I don't like Nene, okay, at all. But I do support Black businesses, and I do want her to win. This is the look of her new restaurant, a bar. It's called the Linnethia. It's spelled after her first name, which is Linnethia. So, hey, I'm not sure if it's open yet. Is it open? I can't tell when it's going to be open. I'm sure it's going to be soon. It sounds really cool. It is going to be in Duluth, right there where her shop was, which is also far from Atlanta. Like I said, it's still like 30, 45 minutes. Well, easy 45 minutes. And a lot of people may have trouble finding it. It'll probably be more geared to locals, but I'm sure, fans will come to. I just don't know why they keep making these businesses so far outside of Atlanta. I know they get better real estate because let's face it, in Atlanta it's going to be more expensive. You're going to get less property to work with, less space. Parking's going to always be an issue, so you want to move out in the outskirts, but nobody, it just doesn't make any sense. you know they just don't do their research. They don't. Also, I need to update you on K Michelle's restaurant. Now, K Michelle also closed her doors and ended up doing a business venture with this lady. What's her name? Her name is Shima Fulton. Her name is Shima Fulton, and she owns a couple of restaurants. She does the Garden Park where they do a nice brunch. And well, hold on. They do a brunch. I can't say nice brunch. Okay, and on Sundays. And then I guess she does a pop-up bar restaurant with K Michelle, like a joint venture on Saturdays. And it's called Puff Meets Pearl. And the Puff and Petals Lounge was the cutest little lounge. It was all pink. It was so girly, so pretty. I have a review on it on my channel. Feel free to check it out. But it was perfect. The only entirely too small. Entirely too small. It was in a dangerous neighborhood. Oh my God. Like, when we would park, I felt like so many guys were like surrounding my car. Like I didn't know, like they were booting cars there. Like you wanted to catch an Uber there and just, because you didn't want to really park your car there. The parking wasn't really good because it was like it was. I mean, you could probably find a parking spot, but then it could have been an issue, especially based on what the crowd was like. But every time I went there, it was pretty much empty. Okay, so and the last two times I went was horrendous. I mean, nobody was working. There were no customers. They were out of practically all the food. It was a whole show. It was a whole show. And I was actually shocked because I went there with my friend just on GP. Then we went back and I'm trying to see if I can find these pictures. Um then we went back with my other friend for his birthday and it was really cute. So and he wanted to go. But when I went back, they took down the flower wall. Um So it sat on a little corner. It was the cutest thing. K. Michelle really designed this place. And apparently Shima Fulton was her business, like it was her consultant for Puff and Petals. So this was my food. Like everything was so cute. Hold on. So this is me in the Puff and Petals. And that's us with the fishbowl drink. It had the sparkler, and girl, they was out of sparklers that day. Their drinks came in like a cigar box. You see that? I'm sorry about the quality of the thing. Can't really do anything about that. That's my friend Lonnie for his birthday. He was so happy. Um, the menu, they totally revamped the menu. That's me again. You can see the drink in a box. You see that presentation? Great presentation. Now I don't know what's going on there now. That's all of us. But do you see how pink and frilly it is? But yeah, they were out of everything. There was no food. Look how everything was pink, girly. Um, they had like pink salt, you know. Very cute drinks. They really made you feel special. That was me inside a bar, Chix. That's when I had my little baby afro. When I was a new natural. But yeah, no. Yeah, bar chicks, I want you to hear me. It's not. I mean, yes, the location was bad, but Nene, she's doing the same thing. She didn't realize that the location probably had a lot to do with why nobody was going out there. And then her reviews on Swagg was just as bad. So I want you, if she reopens Swagg, I hope she pays attention so that she can, look, this is free. What do you call it? This is free evaluations. Like you want somebody to tell you the truth about your business because this is market research. Her place had a 1.5 star at Swagg Boutique. Let's see. Oh my God, Swagg Boutique. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. Now I did like the big rooms. She had big dressing rooms. They're real girly. But it was and she decorated it real cute. It was just like, girl, did you it was? Because we ain't no small fries. It wasn't no big small fries coming in there. But she did have a really nice clerk working there. And we tried, me and my sister, we looked everywhere. We tried to find something we can actually buy that was Decent. Okay, so Swagg Boutique. Oh my God. One of their reviews says, very underwhelming and overpriced, just like the owner. Fake, flashy, with absolutely no substance. This was Adrian D. Oh my God. Tanya J said, very poor quality in the clothing and overpriced. You can find the same clothing and accessories on Canal Street. Candy store have much better quality and less price. Thumbs down. But if you like to wear one time, wear it. But if you like to wear one time, wear, go for it. Oh my God. This one says clothes are poor quality and overpriced. There were some snakeskin plastic pants for $90 that would be sold at Walmart for $2. There was a yellow blouse on a mannequin with a stain on it. Don't bother to go. Go to Target. Better choices. Oh my God. This one said they actually met Nene and she was rude or she was kind of standoffish. It said she gave it 1 star. Her name is Marsha M. She said, I went to Swagg Boutique and the owner, Nene Leakes, happened to be there. She hardly spoke to my daughter and I as we shopped. We did buy a dress, but the attitude of the owner was unfriendly, which would definitely circumvent me from returning. Further, the clerk balled up the dress to put it in a bag. It was a long, ruffled gown. We had to ask if he wouldn't mind hanging it in a garment bag. He was nice but inexperienced. Mrs. Leakes was too busy trying on clothes herself. I felt as though I was imposing by asking to use the dressing room. She said Miss Leakes was so busy trying on clothes herself. I felt as though I was imposing by asking to use the dressing room. I've shopped all over the world from London to New York. This was not one of my better experience. And yeah, they got my post taken down. Well, they got my post taken down, but I'm gonna show you what I posted. Yeah, no. I mean, look, Pete Ty, what's his name? Tay? He tried to say, oh girl, you just tearing down black businesses. I'm like, what? Tearing down black businesses? No. K Michelle, I gave a very, very flattering review on that, and I was very impressed. I'm still impressed to this day on the caliber of or what she brought to the table with this. And Bar Chix. I said that place is gorgeous. The restaurant is gorgeous. I mean, when I say gorgeous, I mean gorgeous. So, like, look at that bar. Look, you can tell that bar is high quality. That's my thumbnail picture, and it's a bit like you could tell she put some money in this bar. Look at that. Look at that bar. She's leaning on the bar. She put some money into this bar, but she didn't find out. Hey, where are people shopping? She probably just said, "Oh, this is nice. Let me get it." You know, Because I feel like, these are new business owners and people aren't giving them the truth. Y'all should do a little more research. But when I first went to Puff and Pet, look at that. My dessert. They didn't even sell that no more. Look at the deviled eggs. I don't think they had those anymore. Charlotte's rib. Look at my let me show y'all my sliders. That's my sliders. You see the pink salt. I even bought, because I loved it so much, I even bought those glasses and I got pink salt. Now, I need a salt and pepper shaker. And I needed some pink straws and I need me yeah, that's all I need. But yeah, I mean, no, I definitely don't go out of my way to tear down black businesses. That's not what this is about. This is me, and I say this in a lot of videos. Like, if you're gonna do a review, do a review. I just hear too many people saying, "Oh, I can't say anything bad about them because they're not gonna want to work with me again." No, they want your honest opinion. You do them no good by giving them these pacifying responses. You're doing nobody any service. Think about it. When you go to a restaurant and you're looking up the review on Yelp, would you be happy knowing that only employees filled out those reviews? No, why? Because they're going to say what you expect them to say. Okay. But look, you got me, honey, at a restaurant. I didn't care where. I didn't care who. Uh-uh. If you ask me about something, I'm going to tell you the truth. Nope, don't get that dish. Don't get that dish. A lot of people send it back. Even where I work now, they say, "Hey, should I get this?" No, I say, "Nope, don't get that," because we get a lot of those back. A lot of people returning them. A lot of people aren't happy with the size. I tell them the true tea, okay? Because I would want somebody to do that to me. And I really, at this point in my life, I really don't make a lot of impulse decisions as far as impulse buying. A lot of the buying that I do, I've researched before I bought it. So, we need your honest feedback, everybody. No matter what. No, there's no excuses. You are not acting with integrity if you don't give an honest review. If you give one of those sugar coated reviews, you are not acting in integrity. Okay. And I want everybody to start acting with integrity from here on out. Okay. And I'm not just saying go out of your way to say something negative. I'm just saying, look, tell them what it is. Like literally, I almost died at a bar Chix because I accidentally didn't realize one of their menu items had seafood, had crab, and I'm allergic to seafood. And I couldn't get the waiter's attention to come bring me water and lemon because I know, like, if you're having a seafood allergy attack or something, lemon helps neutralize it. And I was trying to get the waiter's attention to give him to get me water and lemon, and he came back so late. It could have been bad. And I do not carry an EpiPen because I don't normally do that or have that experience. So anyway, yeah. So what else do I want to talk about? Let's see, any other news? Oh, Verzuz. I didn't even watch Verzuz. I guess I shouldn't even talk about it, but I didn't even watch Verzuz with Ashanti and what's her name? And Keyshia Cole. I was actually when I was going to watch it, but after they postponed it and it just seemed like too much. I was really going to go to Keyshia Cole, but I'm so glad I didn't watch it because I heard Keyshia Cole's behavior was less than stellar and that she was almost 2 hours late and it was a whole fiasco and a whole shit show. Even though they said they had the highest views, but it was so many negative things. I said I'm not going back. But what I did see, I think I saw Miss Ashanti's hair, honey, and Miss Ashanti was laid, honey. She was sitting. She was sitting. She won off of pure looks, okay? Because from what I saw, Ashanti was sitting. Now, I will say that Keyshia Cole's hair was equally beautiful, but it was just, I was so turned off by the coronavirus and then the postponement and this and that that I just couldn't get the energy to watch it, and I'm so glad I didn't. And then let's go ahead and talk about Salt and Pepper, the biopic. That goes back to integrity. Look, nobody wants to see a biopic of people. Like, if you're going to do it, do it. Okay. Tell the truth. That it was so much like staring of conversations and staring what we know and what we not supposed to know, and this father and baby father, and this one get mad. Look, that's not what a biopic is. It's supposed to be your life depicted, not the carefully crafted life. That's a press release, honey. No, that's your marketing. No, that's your bio. Your bio is only the highlights of what you want us to know. Okay, your packaging, but we're paying to see your life and what you went through and in that we learn from that. That's why the Bible has a bunch of stories that's negative. God was like, hey, if you're going to write it down, and I guess he spoke through David, King David, he said, you're going to write it down, you're going to tell the truth. You're going to tell the good, the bad, and the ugly. Talked about how they were murderers and former murderers and this and that. And then they went on to be big kings and everything. And they talked about the adultery and everything. They wanted the real in there so you can learn from it. So that's what I want y'all to do. I want us to go back to the basics. Just we need to hold all parties accountable. The plaintiffs and the defendants need to be held to a standard. Just like the plaintiff shouldn't automatically win or be given any more favoritism or special treatment, and the defendant shouldn't have any special treatment. Both should have to prove their case, okay? And we shouldn't be so rushed to judge everybody just because we don't like somebody, just because we don't like their politics, just because we don't like the way they look, just because we don't like that they spoke out about this topic or that topic. Still, just remember, these are somebody's mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, and it could be your family member. And you would want somebody to give you and your family member that same courtesy, not to rush to judgment, And because look, that man I showed y'all, he spent 18 years for a crime he didn't commit. Okay. This man was 20 years old, was taken to jail in the prime of his life. How often does that happen amongst the Black community and minority communities? Okay. So stop it with the rush to judgment. It's harmful, but what it's doing is it's desensitizing us because people don't have to be held to any standard when it comes to making allegations. Everybody has to be held to a standard. Okay? Like I said, just because they think, we saw on tape, we saw on tape stealing the steak. She put the steak under her baby carriage. Put it in a baby carriage. She walked out there. Yeah, we saw that on camera. She put the steak in her baby carriage. She went out of there. However, she still has to go to court. And they have to present this to the judge. And if the judge is like, oh, hell no, this police officer is doing what? Like he has a reputation of being nasty, mean, egregious, whatever, they can throw the cases back out based on that. Or the fact that this officer was accused of falsifying or perjury, or this officer is accused of running radar, unprovoked or whatever, and running people's license unprovoked or whatever. And the judge finds out, he can throw out all the cases that the police officer has. You see what I'm saying? That's why nobody should rush to judgment. We should wait until this party goes to court, that party goes to court. We hear both sides. You make your decision, okay? Whatever your decision is, or whatever the commission is, people still gonna have their thoughts, but at least by that time you've given everybody the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? I wish Linnethia well on her new lounge. Bar Chix is allegedly moving to East Point. I think they'll do better there in that location because it's going to be by the airport. I think they're going to get better traffic, but just remember what I said, honey. Service is key, honey. Service is going to be key for you. And get rid of Tay. Get rid of Tay. He's coming to your customers. He's representing you, Trina Braxton? Is that what you want to represent you? Is somebody that attacks your customers for giving a bad review? Hell, the place had like 2 stars. She wasn't the only one to give a bad review. He told her, do not come back. We don't want customers like you. That's how you treat your customers, Trina? Trust me, I won't be back. I don't give a damn whether you gave me a $100 free meal, I wouldn't be back, honey. Because let me tell you something. I almost died in your restaurant. It's not your fault, but I almost died because I couldn't get the waiter. He just left us, and you had one server working on a Saturday. I said, I cannot believe y'all had one server working on a Saturday night. That tells me two things. Your business is so slow that you don't think you can put more people on the floor because you want your fave to make the money. Or two, they all quit because your poor management. I mean, look at Tay. Okay, he's out here acting a fool allegedly, and it's so far out that you can't make any money because like you spending so much in gas. Probably most of the, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, it was some issues, and the food wasn't that good. And I was hoping that you would put some just maybe with your new restaurant, maybe you could put a few dishes from Miss Miss Evelyn on there, Miss E. Okay, like I want to see some buffins on there. I want to see like she was doing them scrambles. I want to see more of that. Okay, um, I would think you would have more crab balls, knowing that you're from Baltimore. But maybe you'll bring that in now that you're moving over there, because I know they have a big Spawn Divots has a very big following over there, and I know they redid the city over there. It's really nice in East Point. I mean, it's yeah, it's let me just say, it used to be more ratchet, okay, but or considered ratchet, you know, because the neighborhood has changed over the years. It didn't start out that way, but it ended up being like College Park and stuff. But a lot of homeowners out there. And by being by all the airport and all the hotels and stuff, I think it's going to do better. But just remember what I said to you, Trina. At the end of the day, it is your name on the lot. Okay, you're the one paying all the bills. At the end of the day, they don't even know who Tay is. They don't even know Tay is running it, but he's running your place into the ground if that's how he thinks he could treat his customer. So thank everybody for watching, and it was so nice talking to y'all. I'll be back with more news, and thank you for watching the Lee Williams Show. Bye bye.